Democratic descent in the United States. Donald Trump arrested on 37 charges but released without conditions. Donald Trump was released without conditions. Former U.S. President Donald Trump, who was arrested earlier in federal court in Miami, was released after a brief hearing. The judge ruled that he is not a flight risk and no bail will be paid. Defense attorney Todd Blanche entered a not guilty plea on behalf of the former president. Trump was frowning throughout the hearing, staring at the floor, ABC reports. Special counsel Jack Smith, whose investigation led to the impeachment of Donald Trump, was also in the courtroom. The arraignment took place without cameras in the court and was not broadcast live, and this will be the second time since April that Trump will appear as a defendant in a courtroom. The first time in New York, he pleaded not guilty to charges that he tried to buy the silence of porn star Stormy Daniels. Trump is the first president, current or former, to face criminal charges, but that has not dampened his hopes for returning to the White House. The opposite, in fact. He maintains a wide lead over his rivals for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination, according to Reuters' Ipsos poll, with 81% of Republican voters considering the charges against him salacious and politically motivated. Trump insists on his innocence and presents the case as an attempt to undermine his bid to return to the White House. After his court appearance, Trump will return to New Jersey, where he is scheduled to speak. They hate Donald Trump. They are instrumentalizing justice. Donald Trump representative attorney Alina Habba said outside the Miami federal court, where the former president was arraigned, that he defies the charges. Hamba argued that countless other people, including former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and President Joe Biden, retained classified documents and have yet to be prosecuted. He also mentioned that the U.S. has two-step justice system, two-tier that is. The people in charge of this country don't love America, Haba said. They hate Donald Trump, and what we're seeing today is a blatant, reckless instrumentalization of criminal justice system. Haba, however, did not directly say whether Trump did the things he's accused of by the Justice Department. The lawyer compared the current situation with what is happening in Cuba and Venezuela, saying we are at a turning point in our nation's history, targeting, prosecuting, and leading a leading political opponent in the state of affairs you see in dictatorships like Cuba and Venezuela. In other words, comparing the U.S. Democracy and politics as a third world banana republic. Earlier, Banking News reported former U.S. President Donald Trump was arrested today, 13th of June, who is in court. This is yesterday's, of course, news. Who is in court in Miami and is facing 37 charges of illegally keeping classified information, some of which concerns U.S. nuclear weapons secrets. He's being prosecuted for breaching the Espionage Act, while boxes of 13,000 documents are at the disposal of the justice authorities to file charges. Officers are now expected to take electronic copies of his fingerprints at some point in today's proceedings. They won't take a photo of Trump given his visibility. Trump will then apologize, and the terms of his pre-trial release will be discussed. Restrictions on Trump's conduct are also likely to be placed as the case progresses. Former President Donald Trump wrote on the website Truth Social that today is one of the saddest days in the history of our country, shortly before the expected impeachment. He said, "We are a nation in decline." This is what he wrote in his Truth Social post. Outside the court is a crowd of protesters and dozens of journalists, while there are fears of incidents. The indictment against former U.S. President Trump was unsealed Friday, June 9. According to what became known, the former president is charged with 37 felony charges, and those charges relate to the handling of classified documents obtained during his tenure. Among the cache of documents found at Trump's Mar-a-Lago home were highly sensitive files on the nuclear capabilities of the U.S. as well as other countries. The 49-page indictment accuses Trump of willfully ignoring the Justice Department's demands to return the documents it had obtained, and apparently Donald Trump risks 100 years in prison. Trump came under criminal investigation in the spring of 2022 after the FBI was alerted that classified documents were found in 15 boxes of government records he gave to the National Archives and Record Administration, NARA. Following months of NARA efforts to retrieve documents, the agency believed that they were missing. The indictment estimates that Trump's trial will last between 21 and 60 days. And the indictment, according to the indictment, Trump, as president, quote, had lawful access to sensitive classified documents and information related to the national defense of the United States, and during his presidency he collected newspapers, press clippings, letters, notes, cards, photographs, official documents, and other material in cardboard boxes that he kept in the White House. Among the documents Trump stored in his boxes were hundreds of classified documents. The classified documents he stored in his boxes include information about the defense and weapons capabilities of both the United States and foreign countries, the United States nuclear programs, potential vulnerabilities of the United States and its allies to military attack, and plans for possible retaliation as response to foreign attack. Unauthorized disclosure of these classified documents could jeopardize the national security of the United States, foreign relations, the security of the United States, military and human resources, and the continued viability of sensitive intelligence collection methods. The special counsel alleges that Trump disclosed classified documents to others in July of 2021 at the Trump National Golf Course in Bedminster, New Jersey, and once in August or September 2021. In July 2021 at the Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster, New Jersey, the Bedminster Club, during a taped meeting with an author, a publisher, and two members of his staff, Trump demonstrated and described a plan of attack that, as he said, had been prepared for him by the Minister of Defense and a senior military official. He told the individuals that the plan was highly confidential and secret. Trump also said, as president, I could have declassified it and now I can't, but this is still classified. The special counsel alleges that Trump attempted to obstruct FBI and grand jury investigations and to conceal the continued retention of classified documents. The indictment states that Trump also suggested that his lawyer hide or destroy documents requested by the grand jury subpoena, and asked his assistant, defendant Nauta, to move boxes of documents. If anything, this is a dark day for democracy in the United States, and according to Donald Trump, what he had said a few days ago, the corrupt Biden administration informed my lawyers that I may be indicted in the casket scandal, despite the fact that Joe Biden has 1,850 caskets at the University of Delaware, additional caskets in Chinatown, Washington, and more boxes at the University of Pennsylvania, while his papers are strewn all over the floor of the garage where he parks his Corvette, protected only by a garage door that is quite thin and often opened. I never thought something like this could happen to a former president of the United States, who received far more votes than any president in our country's history, and currently leads by a wide margin all of his candidates, both Democrats and Republicans, as well as Republicans in the 2024 presidential polls. I am an innocent man, he said. Indeed, this is a dark day for the United States of America. We're a country in serious and rapid decline, but together we'll make America great again, is what he wrote on the social media at the time. And the lawyers resigned. It's recalled that two lawyers who represented Donald Trump in the months before the former president was accused resigned. His attorney, Jim Trusty, John Rowley, did not explain why they resigned, only issuing a joint statement that this is a logical time to do so, given the charges filed Thursday in U.S. District Court in Miami. Trusty and Rowley also said they will no longer represent Trump in a pending federal criminal investigation into his efforts to overturn his 2020 election loss to President Joe Biden. And it's noted that Trusty had made several appearances on television news shows Thursday afternoon and Friday morning to discuss Trump's indictment in his capacity as his attorney. And this is from Banking News, and I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support. and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.